Well, he just did. He just scored 8 points. That's the thing. He had a career.
Every loss, the weight of every loss, humanity changed the season.
Listening to the Sportz Nutz.
Yes, you are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sportz Nutz. Hey, guys, we are at episode 62. Matt, you know, we really are like episode, like video-wise 101. But, I mean, episode 62, what does that put in perspective for you, Matt?
Oh, man. I guess you
don't say we're getting a motorcycle.
No. We're past the midlife crisis already. We're already past that. We're past midlife crisis. Right now, we're entering. We're looking at retirement homes now. That's where we're at. We're looking at retirement homes right now, man.
Wait, I gotta find the flag. Oh, I have it in my pocket, ladies and gentlemen.
You got it with you, man. You got it with you. Okay.
As you guys see, there is this gentleman right here, Mr. Hank Russell. Ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman right here. By the way, Matt, there's your flag. You're flagged.
Thank you.
This gentleman is located in the greatest city, well, in the, quote, West. It's not really the West. It's more like Westerner. He is an hour behind us. He is Memphis, Tennessee. Mr. Hank, tell everybody, how are you doing, sir?
Yes, how you doing, gentlemen? It's good to see you.
That's right. We are ready to have you on, man. Hey, guys, we are going to have an absolute fantastic show. Go ahead, let everybody know we are on live. Go on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, wherever. Let them know this is the Sportz Nutz. We're guys, I have to quickly show my my posse, as everybody calls it here. As you guys know, that is my lovely wife, Cassie, and there is Miss Aspen. There's Eastland, and there is Holden, and of course there's Stella. Don't mind the mess, guys. You know we have kids. But they are down here because they wanted to watch Daddy's show. Up, and here comes the star of it all. And like I told you, Hank, Matt hasn't seen this yet, but ladies and gentlemen, this is my baby girl. Addison, come close to let everybody see your head.
I heard. Oh my goodness, I heard about that earlier today, sweetheart. Are you okay?
Yeah, she can't hear you, but that's how are you feeling?
Okay.
Okay. That's
she said okay.
So Hank, real quick, are you like Brandon, the married man, family, or are you more so like me, the single guy out there just kind of, doing his thing?
I'm the single guy just doing his thing. I'm not dating anybody right now, ladies. But
he is taking applications, however, folks.
Yes, I am taking up. I can always,
we always take applications.
I'm not prowling, but I will accept application forms.
Yeah, there you go.
Applications. No, I've always focused on, let's think about it. I've always focused more on my passions and stuff like that. And, so we don't, marriage is not that big of a deal because I noticed that people that chase it obviously don't find it.
Yep.
And when they're kind of they just kind of let things be and they kind of live their life, then all of a sudden it starts coming,
Yep.
So, funny you said that, Hank. So I was previously married. Matt had the unfortunate privilege of knowing her as well. My ex-wife, almost 10 years. She didn't really want kids. We had a lot of fights. It was just not a conducive relationship. It was very toxic. Matt can tell you that it was very toxic. However,
you hasn't discussed that before, Brandon.
No
kids.
However, I got here's what I always tell everybody I want to do. I want to say thank you so much to my ex-wife for leaving because I got who I'm supposed to be with. I got the best woman that's ever walked the face of the earth, who has given me not one, not two, not three, but 4 perfect little girls. I cannot be any happier than I am. Well, I mean, I could be, but I'm as you guys can hear, that is Aspen actually giggling in the background.
Oh, yeah. You hear him trying to butter her up right now?
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
well, I'll tell you, we'll just say he's grateful for his current situation.
Matt, you were at 15 each, so you're at 30 yards. Jeez Louise. Woo! All right, guys. So let's give a quick little shout out. By the way, we're going to be joined, actually, Matt.
Yeah.
By our good friend Shane Owen. Shane Owen will be joining us tonight.
Okay.
Yes. He won't be long. He won't be on long, but he is going to grace us with his presence. As you know, we're always open to have him come on and anybody really come on. Let's give a quick shout out, Matt, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, guys. If you are looking for some seriously authentic and delicious Mexican cuisine, and as you guys see, the tree is up. Tequila's Grill and Easily is where you want to be. Matt, what is your favorite dish at Tequila's that you tell everybody about?
At first, everything. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and say that everything, from the dishes to the beverages, PG-13.
Some libations.
Yes. So, but you know me, man. You got the quesadillas, you know, which I love. I love the nachos. The nachos are, whew, you know, they have everything there, man. Everything that you could want from a Mexican restaurant, man. So, you know,
they have a homemade salsa bar, y'all. Legit, it's one of the best places to go. Tequila's Grill and Easily. Get your corporate event booked right now for the holiday parties, guys. It's literally knocking on the door. I mean, you see the tree behind me. I don't see Matt's tree yet, and we're gonna have a little discussion on that one. So
that tree is in the living room.
Yeah, and go ahead and give them a call right now. 864-307-8028. Better yet, stop on by 5155 Calhoun Memorial Highway, Easily, South Carolina 29642. That's Tequila's Grill and Easily. God, you know, I've been saying that for long enough. I'd literally forgotten the zip code, Matt. So flag on me. All right, before we go any further, my girls want to say something to you. Say, they're saying good night. They are going to bed.
Good night, sweethearts.
Say, my name is Addison, and I'm a
Sportz Nutz.
My name is Holden, and I'm a
Sportz Nutz.
My name is Eastland, and I'm a
Sportz Nutz.
That's right. They are Sportz Nuts indeed. All right, guys. So I love you, babe. All right. So obviously we've had a really interesting and we got one more. My name is Aspen, and I'm a Sportz Nut. This is my girl. My night, baby. So, you know, we've had a lot going on in the sports world.
Oh, girls.
Yes. Hey, you have a beautiful daughter, too. By the way, Hank, he has a 9-year-old princess who is going on 19.
Oh, wow.
Her name is Aria. She is I've known Matt going a little over 20 years now, right?
Got a question.
And
yeah, go ahead.
Did you name the kid after Game of Thrones?
You know, most definitely I did.
Oh!
You know, most definitely I did. But see, her mom did not know that at the time. But no, Arya Stark. Brent, are the kids in bed?
They can't hear you. They're upstairs.
Okay, good. Arya Stark, one of the most badass characters of all time, man. You know, so got to get that up. But yes, Hank.
Well, yes. Well, a girl must know, huh? I hear you.
Oh my word. See, Matt, you know, you can't get away anywhere.
Hey,
so
man,
look, guys, this is it. It's here. Matt, what am I talking about? What starts tonight in college football?
Tonight in college football would be, what week is it? It's not, I know it's not the college playoff. The playoffs they haven't started yet, but today would be the
conference championship weekend is here. We have made it, guys. Tell me, first off, Matt, Hank, I gotta ask you, does it feel weird to say college football? We're literally in the back half of college football.
It's amazing. It's amazing how fast the months have gone by. I mean, we are in month 4 of college football now. It's, I mean, college football usually starts around like the 20th of August. Here we are, 10 days short of that, a little over 10 days short of that. We're moving way too quick for my taste.
Way too quick. I'm having trouble accepting the fact that we're almost done with college. No, we can't be almost done with college, but we are almost done with college football. So, guys, our good friend Maddie Hudak of SI.com, the beat writer for Tulane University, she is actually at the game tonight. I want to give a special shout out to Maddie. So, Matt, you remember we had Maddie on at the beginning of the season. And Hank, I really want you to check her out. She is phenomenal at her work. She knows football like the back of her hand. If you want to talk to her for football, she will talk to you in a purely sports driven everything. She knows ins and outs and routes and digs and slants and you name it. This girl knows her stuff. She is a diehard Tulane girl. She actually went to the University of Tulane or Tulane, whatever you want to call it. But I have been really sold on Tulane for the last couple of years. 2 years ago, they had the upset in the New Year's Six Bowl against USC. They came back and they won. Last year, they came so close, but they fell just short. But this year, they made it to the AAC Conference Championship. Yes, they lost to Memphis, but Tulane is a very good school, very good team. So Maddie had a piece with a local TV station in New Orleans, and then she did a segment up where Army is located. Everybody knows their West Point is a really pretty area, not too actually far from my brother-in-law Zane. So, but she's there, so I want to give her a huge shout out. Maddie, I don't know if you're watching. I know the game is like 20 minutes away from starting, but we are proud of you. Be loud, be proud, and go green wave, and knock off Army.
And
had to give a shout out.
And Maddie, I'm sorry, but I'm a hardcore University of Memphis fan all my life.
Ooh. Oh, ladies, no, I'm just kidding. But hey, we have a lot of other crazy stories to talk about today. Yeah. I want to ask you guys this, and I'm being very serious. This is actually a real story. Matt, you're a betting man, correct?
Absolutely.
Hank, are you a betting man?
Depends on the wager.
But you do bet though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. So as you guys know, betting is illegal in South Carolina. However, if I were to go literally to the border and take one step over the border, I'm an illegal gambling company. It is legal to bet sports bet in North Carolina, and I'm only an hour away from Asheville, so I'm about 45 minutes away from the border. Well, there is a wager that was done for an NFL game. It's the largest wager ever placed in a regular season game. Cannot wait to tell you guys about that. You're going to be like, why?
Listening.
Because the two teams that I'm going to tell you guys, you're going to be like, really? That's crazy. All right, real quick. NFL has ended its probe of the most hated man in Cleveland, Houston, possibly Atlanta even. Deshaun Watson, we'll talk a little bit about that. Also, real quick, I told this to Hank, Matt, and I don't know if you found about this. Randy Moss is taking a break from ESPN due to health issues. We'll talk a little bit about that. Did you happen to catch the story, Matt, about Randy Moss?
I did not. I haven't heard anything about this, man. This is new to me.
All right, so I'm gonna share the wealth in just a minute. You're gonna like hearing that. And then also, guys, the WNBA. First off, the expansion draft was held tonight for the WNBA's Golden State Valkyries. At the same time, the Toronto franchise has released their name. I will share that name in just a minute with you guys. And then, obviously we're it's the holiday season, so Christmas movies are popping up left and right and up and down. You name it, they're all over the place. We'll talk about what our favorite one is. And just want to quickly let you guys know, the Winter Classic is coming up at Wrigley Field for the NHL. That's going to be a lot of fun. We'll talk about that too. So let's see. Let's go ahead and start right here, Matt, because this is pretty big news. You had not heard this. Randy Moss, about a week, actually, going on 2 weeks now. He came on 2 hours before the show for Sunday Night NFL Countdown came on. And he is having some issues with his eyes. And if you look, he's and I'm going to take my glass off, and he's kind of like doing that. And his eyes are bloodshot. You really can't see very well. And he's having trouble dealing with light glare. So he has to wear sunglasses. He came on 30 minutes before they came on air and said, "Don't be alarmed if you see me wearing those sunglasses." And he said him and his wife are working with great specialists right now. They will be happy to update when the more comes along. Well, then he came on. NFL Live came on, NFL Countdown came on, and he put his sunglasses on. He did reiterate he had health issues. He was having trouble with his eyes. And he really wouldn't go into too deep about it, obviously, because it's a personal matter. Well, he has taken an extended leave from ESPN, so we will not see him on Sunday NFL Countdown for the foreseeable future. It is regarding health issues, especially with his eyes. Hank, I'm going to start with you real quick. What do you think about, Randy? I told you I wanted Randy Moss to be an Atlanta Falcon.
Right.
You said yourself you're a diehard Raiders fan. So what do you think about this whole thing with Randy Moss?
It's interesting when I see these athletes, these guys that are supposedly in better condition than us. Obviously they are in better physical condition because they would do what they do. But you would think that because of the consistency of conditioning and stuff like that, that there would be a little bit more of a longevity as far as health is concerned. But you see all these problems of, heart problems and apparently vision problems in this case from players who were once players. And I don't know what Randy's extracurricular activities were, but I don't recall drugs being one of them. So it makes me a little bit skeptical. Maybe not skeptical, but it shocks me that he's having issues with his eyesight and stuff like that. And it could have been caused by stress. You just never know.
So some of the reports are, have you ever heard of diabetic retinopathy?
No, I haven't.
So diabetic retinopathy is when you have too much sugar in diabetes, too much sugar can cause you to have a lot of health. I unfortunately, after my widowmaker, a heart attack last July, I was diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic. And so I have to get what's called a DRE, a diabetic retinopathy exam every year, where they actually take photo pictures of the insides and the back of your eyes. And there's little spots in your eyes where the blood is collected into like little dots, and it can affect your vision. Some people have speculated that maybe he has diabetic retinopathy. I don't think he does. I mean, I haven't seen any stories of it. I've just seen these are theories about it. Yeah. And obviously it's sad because, Randy Moss literally is one of, if not, actually, I think he is the second greatest wide receiver behind Jerry Rice. Matt, what do you think on this whole thing with Randy Moss and his extended leave from ESPN?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say I think he's probably the most talented wide receiver we've ever seen. The most talented, or if not physically gifted, as far as his size and speed. But it's shocking. It's shocking. He's having issues. As you were explaining it, I was looking it up as well. He's having issues with his eyes, the white of his eyes yellowing, pretty much. He's going through that issue. So, he took time off, just to kind of focus on his health, which is what he needs to do. But it's always kind of mind-boggling when you hear about these athletes going through things like this. As Hank pointed out, man, these guys are, they're well trained, they're in shape for most of their, the betterment part of their adult lives when they're competing. It kind of makes me think, man, does having to put on that strain on your body as far as working out and as far as doing things, does that, cause your body to just break down when you stop doing it or stop going at that pace? But it's just something we'll never know, man. But it is definitely shocking to see that him going through that. Hopefully, he has a speedy recovery.
And the yellowing of anything really, guys, is signature of liver issues. Yeah. And so hopefully he bounces back and, he doesn't need the untimely liver transplant because, that can pretty much signify it coming to an end real quick with liver problems.
It's scary because, like when Michael Jordan did the documentary 4 years ago, The Last Dance, right? I mean, his eyeballs looked like a Crown Apple and Coke. I mean, it's just, It was insane how yellow his eyes are and stuff like that. And Jordan's known to was known to be drinking and, cigars and things like that, which cigars, I that's here nor there, but man, the drinking with the liver, yeah, that's a big issue. But luckily we haven't had any issues out of MJ that we can think of. But Randy Moss is not even 50 yet, I don't think, is he?
No, he's 47.
Wow.
See what I'm saying? I mean, that's pretty young, and I don't think he has, unless there's just like a style of him as a retired guy that I don't know about. But he didn't have any substance abuse problems.
I can't remember it either because we watched him when he was at Minnesota when he got drafted by Minnesota. I mean, I watched him a little bit when he played at Marshall too. So like we've seen
And-
Pretty much our whole
One thing he got in trouble for was when he did the moon, when he pulled fake.
Yeah, he
down.
fake pulled his pants down against the Packers and
Yeah.
with his little shank. That's the only thing I can think of.
And he certainly didn't drink champagne because he never won a ring. So, I mean, what can we say?
That's what I mean.
Also, his distaste for the Raiders as well when he played with them. Actually,
Yeah, exactly. Which I don't have. I don't have a. When anybody complains about the Raiders, I'm not defensive. They need to get their act together, and they have been needed to get together for 20 years. Okay.
Glad you guys got a new stadium finally. Oh my God, that last stadium you guys had was
Oakland Coliseum was a disaster. That was a shit shop.
boy.
Oh no, it was completely horrible. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I hate it. I mean, we had to share with a baseball team for crying out loud, which I'm a baseball fan.
Every team did actually, and as you see, this is my team. This is also Matt's team. I was at the last ever regular season, whatever game you want to call it, regular season, postseason, any game at Fulton County Stadium. The Falcons played. But thanks to my sister Jessica.
You're right.
It's like in the 90s, man. All the other teams got their acts together, Brandon, except for the Raiders.
Yeah, we didn't get our act together till what are we on season 4 in the stadium? Come on, it's like.
But wait now, Oakland in general didn't get their ish together for anything because you lost the Raiders again. You lost the Golden State Warriors. You've now lost the Oakland Athletics. You have nothing really left.
I know. I did an interview 2 weeks ago for a guy that works in the locker room for the Oakland Athletics, and he's not too happy about it either. So,
which, by the way, I want to touch on that in just a second, but I want to give a quick shout out. Our good friend Nick Bongolo. So, Hank, this gentleman right here, Nick Bongolo, he is actually in Toronto, Canada. So we are international. Matt will also let you know he has gotten us even a stranger location. We have 26 people who watch from Iceland.
I've always wanted to visit Iceland. If somebody lives in Iceland and can hook me up a cheap way to get out there and stay out there, I'm coming.
Bro, I'm right there with you. And then, I, over the summer, got to meet some people really high up in the Dubai government. Them and about 47 other people from Dubai watch us every episode. I say thank you so much, even though it's like, dark 30 in the morning over there. I really appreciate them watching us. Hey, Trey Davis, I told you, Hank, Trey Davis chimes in a lot. Trey said, Jason Williams said Randy Moss could have played in the NBA if he wanted to. That is true and folks don't realize this, but Randy Moss and Jason Williams, what was it? His name was White Chocolate. Mm-hmm. They played together in high school in basketball. They grew up together, so they've known each other their whole lives.
Right.
Yeah. Randy Moss was a phenomenal, like crazy talented athlete. He could have. I mean, hell, if he had opportunity, I bet he could have played baseball.
Yeah, and I'm from Memphis, so I saw Jason Williams play up close all those years. So
yeah, so we got you got the privilege of seeing, like freakish, assisting talent.
He got the dumbed down version of Jason Williams when he told him that Hubie Brown made him calm down a little.
Yeah, that's a whole different topic, but still, he still had the moves, baby. We just couldn't win a playoff game with him. That's all. We went to the playoffs 3 years in a row and couldn't win one.
Yeah, that was very talented guy though. Very talented guy.
Of course.
Yeah, Brandy. I don't even remember the old commercial with Randy Moss and Jason Williams. It was an old commercial that showed them playing high school ball and going their separate ways. One to the NBA, one to the NFL. I think it was Jason Williams' rookie year. Well, both of their rookie years, 98. So. Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, Matt just aged himself wisely. He's a fine wine from a smooth 1987.
No, 85.
Oh, sorry. He's a smooth but yet robust 85.
Oh, whatever. 39 is not old. Okay, I'm older than both of you by at least a year, and I'm telling you, man, like it is not that bad. Okay, I'm telling you, especially if you're a guy. If you're a guy, it's not that bad.
It's not.
I just need to get my ass in shape.
But wait a second.
Same here, man. I gotta get back. Got to get back into it.
There's only 2 people here that are in their 40s.
41.
40. And Matt, you're 39, so
look, man,
you're the spring chicken.
Look, I feel 45, so hey, 46.
Yeah, we're gonna stop for a second on stories. Matt, tell Hank what your genius idea was recently that caused one of our guests from the South Carolina Ravens to say he was going to give you a boatload of aspirin, something else that I can't say because it's not age appropriate, and another alcoholic drink. What did he tell you he was going to give you again?
I don't recall. Brandon, won't you enlighten me with the story?
Yeah, you remember what Andre told you. He told you he was going to give you some illicit medication, and then also was going to give you a boatload of aspirin and an alcoholic beverage to calm your pain from being an old man playing on a young man's court.
Look, man.
And what does that mean, Matt?
Look, man, I went out on the court again. Hank, I went out on the basketball court again, man. Played against some young kids. Man, it just wasn't the same. It's been a few years since I've been on the court, man. I kind of hurt my knee a little bit.
Right.
So I kind of just getting back nice and slowly but surely. And it was not the same. It was not the same. But Brandon, I can still dunk though.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I can still dunk.
Well, he can't dunk on me.
I'm with you, man. Look, it hurts, man, because basketball was my favorite sport to play. So.
Oh, what position did you play?
Well, I'm only 6'2" or 6'3", but I played center and power forward.
I'm 6'5".
Yeah,
Matt's 6 foot. So your sister. I mean, we're kind of in that back in the day stage. Where we played the 4 or 5.
I've in my life I've played at least 4 sports, I believe. Yeah, baseball, basketball, football, and golf. I did golf for but I hadn't played golf in 20 years, so I couldn't tell you what I could do. But yes, I was a sports guy too.
Yeah.
Go ahead, tell him I play golf.
Oh well, yeah. This guy here, he told me how to play golf for the first time. My first time ever playing golf, man, and one of the most difficult sports I've ever played. And
he beats me.
But the thing is, you wake up the next morning. Usually, when you go to the gym and you feel sore.
You feel extra sore when you play golf.
Well, you had me playing with righty clubs. I'm a lefty.
It's the same as dancing. I mean,
so look, Matt is like this freakishly good, like talented player. I actually had a nickname I created for him when we were playing basketball, and I'm gonna tell you how Matt and I met actually. So we have a mutual friend named Brian Greenblatt. Yes, we're calling you out. He goes, "Hey, I got a friend who plays for the Atlanta Hawks." I was like, "Wait, you do?" He's like, "Well, he plays for the D League, the NBA D League." I'm like, "Oh, well, let's get him on our team. Go right ahead." So I go and I start talking to him. I'm like, Brian told us you played at the Atlanta Hawks, and he goes, "I never played for. I tried out for the Atlanta Hawks." What was it? You tried out for them, and what else?
I tried out for them, but I ended up getting hurt during the tryout. I twisted my knee, and so I had to stop the trials. It was for their I guess it was D League back then.
Yeah, back then it was the D League.
Back then it was D League. Yeah, it was D League back then. So I tried out. It was for I forgot what the team was, but I tried out for them, and I got hurt in the first trial, and then I was like, ugh. So Brian knew I tried out for them, But
he tells our good friend Jason, our good friend Velo. God, I can't remember the guys on the team, but names.
Guy named Matt.
Yeah, another guy named Matt. He goes, "Hey, you guys are gonna have a guy who played for the Atlanta Hawks." And so I remember when Matt goes, "Brian, why did you tell him I played for the Atlanta Hawks?" And Brian goes, "Because you did." So we made fun of Brian for that. And so Matt's nickname that I came up with is Springs because the dude had like spring loads in his feet. Matt, tell him what your vertical was.
It was 43 at the time. It was like 43 inches, and but that was just me jumping with like clothes on and playing around. So I got 43 inches. So I probably could have, if I really tested it, I probably jumped higher than that.
43 is good enough as it is, though. I think that it gets you in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I played the wrong sport. I blame my older cousin for this. I always blame this because he got me into basketball and got me into sports. I've had the more traditional mold as a defensive back or a wide receiver. I think if I really would have played football, I could have really excelled in that because dude, I was very athletic, like very fast. I ran it was like a 4.2, 4.27 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a 43, 44, 45 inch vertical leap. So I always should have played football.
I played football as well. But that being said, I'm glad I didn't pursue it because after seeing the movie Concussion, I'm glad I didn't.
Tell the truth.
Yes,
Tell the truth.
So
And
I've unfortunately had that I've had my bell rung. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So,
I did. I mean,
I played football. I was actually really good. I was one of the best tight ends in the state of Georgia.
Oh, really?
I was actually really good in defense. I was scouted by 16 schools. My most memorable hit, where I got my bell absolutely rung, we were playing against Milton High School, which is Roswell High School's biggest rival. It's one of the biggest rivals in the state of Georgia, actually. And the linebacker, he's tapping me, letting me know I need to go out because I've got to go into coverage. No, I didn't listen, and I blitz. Well, the fullback goes to the left, the running back goes right at me, and what do?
Yeah.
Hit each other so hard, he is knocked out for the rest of the entire season, and I was knocked out for 2 weeks. And I can still remember hearing that pop, but I don't remember anything else. It was such a horrific hit. And all right, so Trey just said this for you, Matt. I've stood next to Matt. I thought he was a football player. So Matt is he is a stout individual.
That's Matt.
But
now. Matt back then, Brandon. Matt back then was wiry and just athletic and dumb.
And he was a twig.
Yeah.
No, I when I tell you he's a twig, I'm telling you, man, like beanpole.
Yeah. I was like I was 6 feet, 6'1", and I was like 180 or something like that, 180, 170.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Yeah. I played defensive. I played both offensive line and defensive end, and a little defensive line, and I hated offense because I couldn't stand my quarterback. Right? You're supposed to protect this guy and be professional. So my coach goes, and I told him that he was asking me, why are you lagging on offense, man? You get around good on defense. And I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't particularly care for him. And he goes, you don't like your quarterback? and then I said no, and he goes, all right, well, stand over there, go chase him. Go catch him. So there you go. That's why I played. That's why I love defense, because I love making pretty boy quarterbacks.
There you go.
I wasn't great, but anytime I did, it made my day.
I was pretty ferocious on defense. I played defensive end, left end, and tight end. My best game always came against North Cobb. For whatever reason, they could never stop me. And I mean, there was one game at the end of the first quarter, I had already had like 8 receptions for like 47 yards. And that's in one quarter, of course.
What kind of
that game?
Dunk?
What'd you say?
What kind of dink and dunk was going on for that game?
No, so I'm 6'5". I was one of the tallest players in all of the region, and nobody could do like the tallest person on defense was the other end, Elliott, who was 6'4". So I mean, we were literally right next to each other height wise, but nobody could like catch up to me, kind of thing. And I remember, the team I absolutely hated playing against. You might know this name too, Hank. Is Parkview High School. Why? Because Jeff Rancour played for Parkview High School, and I kid you not, the 2 games that that I had to play against him, he always came to me, and I hated it. I got a total 2 receptions for 11 yards. That was it.
Franco played.
I got 1 reception both games, totaling 11 yards total.
Yeah,
play football.
That's.
Huh?
I mean,
I know Franco play football.
Yeah, he's actually in the Georgia High School Hall of Fame for football and, of course, baseball as well.
I remember when he came to South Gwinnett, because I went to South Gwinnett my senior year of high school. I remember when he came to South Gwinnett, he shut it down. Like, he shut it down. He was the picture. He was this dude hit at least 6 or 7 home runs. Just shut it down. So yeah, he destroyed us by himself. So yeah.
Yeah, we've had fun growing up with some players. My state of fame for the most famous NBA player that I got to play with was Dwight Howard. We were playing in a tournament. He was a freshman and I was a senior, and we were losing by 38 points. And they said, "Who's going to guard Dwight?" And I was like, "I really don't care. I'll do it." That was a bad mistake. I got a shot that hit the backboard, and I got the rebound over him. The other 2 shots, one went in the stands. The other one went like into the other end of the backcourt to one of his players, and they scored. So I got a rebound on Dwight Howard. That's my state of claim.
Yeah.
Claim to fame. Matt's claim to fame is he got the dunk on me several times because he
God.
never.
Come on now.
I'm telling.
So all right, so we've already started diving into other topics. I want to talk about this one, guys. What Matt? I'm going to start with you, and then I'm going to go with you, Hank. Matt? What is the largest wager you have ever done on anything, any sport, like basketball, football, baseball, hockey, soccer, badminton, pickleball, whatever?
A couple seasons ago, man. This is basketball season. A couple seasons ago. Actually, this is app. It's called. It wasn't Sleeper. I use a Sleeper app now. I think it might have been FanDuel. I can't remember which one it was. I have to go back and check. I was in Pennsylvania at the time, and I made a bet. I made a bet with. I think I just had won some money somehow, somewhere. I won some money, but I bet like a couple grand. I bet a couple grand on. Just did it just through the app. Bet a couple grand, and then I ended up winning like. $8 grand or something like that off of it. So it was something like that. It was like off an app. It was off an app. So that's why I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's kind of the most that I kind of won as far as sports betting. But of course, for a point in time, Brandon, I was heavy on the fantasy football, money leagues. Not like I used to. I used to like do like $1,000 leagues, $100 leagues, here, $100 whatever. And I remember one year, when it comes to fantasy football, I won about almost 10 grand. Just one like football season. So that's pretty neat.
What about you, Hank?
The most I've ever bet is $5, and the most I've ever come home with is $23. I'm not a big gambler. I'll tell you, and I'll explain this. Okay, I'll bet on maybe like I'll bet on a fight, like a UFC or boxing or something like that, and I'll bet $5 to a guy at the bar or at the sports place or whatever. And then some people I'll bet $1 each for certain things. Like, all right, if some guy will say, hey, during this series, so-and-so team is going to score a touchdown. During this series, so-and-so is going to get a receiving. And you only bet $1. And one time I did come home with about $23 on a Raiders beating the Chiefs season before last, when we beat them the season before last. Because, one of the bets was that the game was going to be won by the Chiefs. That's $5. That puts $10 in my pocket. And then they were having much better series than the Chiefs that year in that particular game. So I won an additional $13. So I don't bet big. I'm sorry. That's just not my thing. I'd rather bet. I bet with my dignity more than I do my money.
So mine was $25. And I ended up winning 82. It was like 82 something. The same thing with you, Matt. FanDuel. All right, so I got one for you guys, and you're going to be like flabbergasted. A bettor in Kentucky is backing the Philadelphia Eagles with a $3.1 million wager. And folks, if you don't know who the Eagles are playing, you ready? He is backing the Eagles to beat the Carolina Panthers. Oh, what a dummy! Because if he wins, he's only going to win $442,800. Well, I'm going to go bet $3.1 million for $442,000.
Well, I mean, dang, it is kind of a guaranteed win, man. I mean,
but he gets his money back, and then that's it, right?
No, he only gets $442,000.
No, he gets his money back, right? No.
The way they have it, is he won't get his money. He will not get that. He only gets He only gets $442,000.
He had to make a mistake. There's no way he bet $3 million just to win 40. Nah. I think he gets his money.
All right, here's what it says. All right, I'm gonna read it. In response, the sports book moved its line to 9. Okay, all right. So he does get 3.1.
Yeah,
but he gets $442,800. Hey, guess who has joined us, folks?
Who is that?
Mr. Shane Owen. How are we doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing good.
All right, so we're going to ask you this question, Shane. What is the most you've ever wagered on any event? Basketball, football, baseball, hockey, pickleball, fighting, heck, even badminton. Like, what is the most you've ever bet?
Well, I can tell you, you're asking the wrong person because I don't even buy lottery tickets, even when the Powerball gets up there. So I've done $20 bets and stuff like that on store things. I can tell you, but I'm a true believer. in a gentleman's bet, which, it goes around with all of us and, my buddies. Hey, I got a gentleman's bet. You feel strongly about this? Gentleman's bet on this? It's $1. $1. That's our gentleman's bet. So that's when we feel strong about something, we do a gentleman's bet, and it's nothing but a word, which your word's more than money anyway.
Yeah, I was just telling you. So did you hear what I said?
No, I'm sorry. I've been on a call with a friend that I hadn't talked to in about a month or so. So,
well,
I was supposed to get on about 7:30, but
I told him
that went awry.
I told him the most I've ever bet is $5.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I had somebody give me 21 points when Ohio State, when Virginia Tech played Ohio State back. I don't know. Logan Thomas was quarterback. Virginia Tech ended up winning. They gave me Ohio State was a 28-point favorite. So they gave me 21 points. So I took that $20 bet. And then another one was that when we played Alabama the start of the year, that Alabama would be up 21 points in the first quarter. So of course I took that bet.
Wow.
So, but I mean, hey, I'm gentleman's bet means more than any kind of money that you would wager on anything, say on the sports book, FanDuel, or something like that.
Yes, I agree.
But the question I got to ask this guy that he did this bet, what was his end game? I mean, yeah, you get your 3.1 million back, but to only net $442,800. Like what?
Brandon,
what was he thinking?
$442,000.
That's 5 years of salary for people.
That's a lot of money, Brandon.
Not for him though. I mean, if he's just if you're literally just throwing away $3 million,
for a decent, middle class American, that's 5 years of their salary in that one bet.
But he's just throwing away $3 million.
No, he's not throwing away. He gets his $3 million.
He's not throwing away.
That's a guaranteed victory.
Talk about Philly against the Panthers.
That's a guaranteed.
That's a guarantee.
Watch Bryce Young just goes crazy and the Panthers win.
Oh well, is he betting the money line or is he betting the spread?
It says they moved the line to Philly at minus 870. It started at 700 and then it went to 870 because of this guy.
So that's the money line. They're not even talking about the spread or anything. So. Yeah, I mean,
he says given 13 points is what he's saying.
Okay, so they're still betting against the spread. So yeah, I mean, it's it's the NFL, so it could go either way.
But they said this is the second largest ever bet between conference championships and regular season. There was a gentleman named Billy Walters who did $6 million on the New Orleans Saints with the points against the Colts to win the Super Bowl. And as you know, he won.
Well, Vegas is going to put that call in. Vegas is going to put that call in then to keep that. To keep.
Hey, Vegas going to put a call in to at least put one of the Houston teams, like be it college basketball, baseball, MLB, something, put them into a major game because they still got to get that $1 million bet the Money Mac puts down every year.
That's right, Mr. Mattress. Yeah, that's right. So I just had to throw there like that was that had to be like the strangest bet I've ever. I mean, come on, it is the Carolina Panthers. Everybody knows they're a dumpster fire right now. They're getting better. They're still a dumpster fire. So I just figured I had to throw that there. It was I was like, what in the heck? When I saw that, I kind of laughed and I texted my brother-in-laws and I was like, Zane and Seth, did you see this? And they said, what a bonehead. I'm like, maybe, I don't know. All right. So really quick, want to let you guys know, Matt, the Hawks, they're playing the Lakers and they're actually doing a pretty good thing against the Lakers. The Hawks are up by 4, but it's looking really good. It could be number 6 in a row, I think, for the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, they already won 5, man. So they're going for number 6 right now. I see they're kind of up by like 4 on the Lakers right now. LeBron just shot. But I don't know, man. It's whenever LeBron James comes to Atlanta, man, we just can't seem to beat this guy over here. So I'll see, man. I think he's gonna have he already got 10 points. I mean, I think I can see him going for a 40-piece this game and it coming down to the wire.
All right, Trey Davis just said, I'm going to paint you a picture. Tampa Bay and Atlanta are neck and neck for the NFC South at the end of the season. It comes down to the last game. Atlanta gets beat by Carolina and is eliminated. You know what, Trey? Hold on. I'm going to do what I do to Matt. You're flagged. So I threw the flag on you. All right, so it is, you're right, Matt. It's the Atlanta Hawks. They've really. Do I hear chirp it? What do I hear crickets?
I hit the cricket button to kind of back you up.
Yeah, we gotta get some buttons. Brandon, we gotta get some buttons. We gotta get some buttons.
All right. Well, I was gonna be like, and whenever somebody makes like a really weird, like an outlandish comment, I'm like, "What'd you just say?"
Oh my gosh, this is funny. Also, did you guys happen to see what like retardedness is? And excuse my language for that, folks. Going on with the Oakland Athletics new stadium, how it ballooned to now $1.75 billion, and they said the cost is not going to change. I mean, like it could go even higher. And y'all ready to hear how much the owner of the organization has backed in? He's only backed in $40 million, which means the rest of the money is off of the city. How do you feel about that?
In Sacramento?
No, in Las Vegas.
Wait a second. I thought that the Oakland Athletics are moving to Sacramento.
No, they're moving to Vegas. They're playing. They ended their lease with the Oakland Coliseum. They have said that they will not finish out Oakland Coliseum said we'll give you 3 years of additional nonsense if you play here or whatever. They said no. So they're playing at the Sacramento minor league affiliate team. They're playing at their stadium for the next couple of years. And then 2028, the Las Vegas A's will start. The stadium is a 30,000 seat stadium, but it also has 15,000 additional seats and through their suites and standing room only. So you could be looking at a 45,000 seat stadium for a whopping $1.75 billion current price tag, but it could balloon to $2 billion. That's unheard of. I mean, I like, would you go pay like so much money to go see the A's play baseball? I mean, like they're mediocre. I'm not even gonna pay a lot for the Raiders. No.
You got diehard fans, man, that are gonna see their teams regardless.
Well, as we've seen in the past, Oakland doesn't have that many fans. They've set the lowest attendance for years in the MLB.
Yeah, that's true. And
until this year,
they're neck and neck. Yeah, well, they were neck and neck with, and it's funny you say that, Shane. They were neck and neck with the Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays had this multi-billion-dollar stadium being built to replace the Tropicana, and then Hurricane Milton came in, destroyed the Trop, and now the deal to move or for the to go to a new arena, new field has actually been balked on. So they may not even stay in Tampa. Orlando is a place that's mentioned. Charlotte has been a place that's mentioned, and Nashville has been a place. Nashville is mentioned left and right for any team, but this is it's a real possibility. We could see the Tampa Bay Rays, the last MLB expansion team, to now move to another area that is trying to get an expansion team.
Well, I can tell you, Charlotte's a perfect fit for any kind of team coming in now. I mean, it's bustling. I mean, it's coming. Hey, Atlanta, they saw their glow up. Especially with the Major League Soccer and everything else that come through there. So, and Charlotte's had it now for a couple of years and has had some good backing. So,
let's just hope Dave Temper doesn't own the team, though.
Hey, I know Hank might appreciate this, but I'd say put one in Memphis too.
Yeah, I would be absolutely ecstatic about it. Yeah, I know we got the Grizzlies, but that's the bone that we've been thrown.
Put a major league team there. I know Nashville's been rumored, but put a major league team in Memphis or Nashville. I think you got it made.
Oh yeah, Cassie says, "Love the sound effects."
I'll teach your wife.
I'll teach. I'll give him tips on how to get some if they're that cool to you. So that's awesome. No,
we needed those for Abe on me, right, Matt?
For every terrible joke Brandon says, the wah 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 will be perfect.
Yeah. Hey, you just came up with a good idea.
Matt, you're at 3. All right. Let's go on to the next topic. The WNBA had the expansion draft for the Golden State Valkyries, and which everybody, if you don't know, the Golden State Valkyries are owned by the owner of the Golden State Warriors. They picked 7 international players as part of the draft, and then a bunch of rounded out to be total of 13 players with a futures contract for one. But here's the crazy thing: Toronto, I told you guys, why doing your show? Cassie, I don't know what that means, honey.
While doing the show, show us your Christmas dance.
Come on.
Oh, okay, I guess. What dance is this? Come on, tell me what dance is this?
The Donald Trump dance.
That's right. That is right.
I got my Johnny Politics shirt going on too.
Anyway, as you were saying.
Oh boy. So the WNBA Toronto team, as you know, 2026 is when they come in. Well, guess what their team name is? The Toronto Tempo.
Thoughts? I guess they
TEMPO.
I guess
Tempo they should have used that as Salt Lake City sub team for the Jazz. I mean, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Tempo.
Every time I hear the like a team in Utah, I think of like I've seen this name constantly, the Stormin' Mormons. Have y'all seen those? That name?
It's called BYU.
No, BYU is BYU. Thank you.
I'm not touching that one.
That is the name that was given. Sorry, Cassie says she's trying to feed at the same time, but Hank, she's loving your sound effects, man. But hey, congratulations goes out to Toronto. Cities that are being mentioned as possible expansions is Charlotte, Tampa, Miami. I believe New Orleans is also mentioned in there, and if I'm not mistaken, a team in Philadelphia is mentioned as well. So we'll see how that goes. Eagerly awaiting the expansion. Magic number, Hank, Matt, Shane, for any team was at one time 32. Now it's 36. NHL it has additional expansion coming. Atlanta is like a 98% lock to get a team. And then here's another one that I don't know if you guys knew. Matt knows this because we've talked about this, but Houston is the other city that has like a 90% opportunity to land a franchise as well. So the next 2 NHL franchises would be Atlanta and Houston. What do you think about that one?
I think it'd be good for the cities. Especially from that, from a whole perspective of how the women's basketball game or the WNBA is actually rising up, man.
Yes,
and gaining more popularity, especially with all these new players. Like, for example, if Juju Watkins came to Atlanta, that'd be awesome. But
did you hear what they said about Juju Watkins? She could pass Caitlin Clark's record, all of her records.
Yeah. I mean, Juju Watkins came in averaging 27 a game, man. I mean, that's kind of unheard of. She's doing it with ease. So, man, I don't see her staying all 4 years, though. I think she's going to try for the women, they have to stay 4 years, correct?
3.
3? So she's going to be going after her 3rd year, man.
Yeah.
It's a very real possibility. What do you think, Hank? What city would you like to see next be like the next team to expand in WNBA?
The next to expand the WNBA.
Yes.
Oh, man. I honestly, I'm thinking because I'm trying to think of who has all the teams.
There's only 14 officially in 26.
Right. I mean, so there's not one in Seattle.
No,
I think
there is. Yeah, the Seattle Storm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Seattle
so there's
Storm.
one in Seattle. Honestly, I could see it more in somewhere like, I don't know, somewhere in like, I don't know. Now maybe like Louisville, Kentucky, or something like that, because Louisville has
that is a basketball town. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would enrich the culture. Even though in my opinion, the WNBA will never be able to compete. They'll never. I've reserved the right to change my mind, of course, but I just think that with such an enriched basketball culture, I think Louisville, Kentucky would be my first choice.
I like it. What do you think, Shane? Where would you like to see the next expansion be?
Well, I'm kind of along those same lines. Like, Louisville, Cincinnati. Do they have a team?
No.
I think
No,
that
Beth.
would be. I think that would be a good fit. Somewhere, say Memphis or Nashville, Atlanta. Those could be four great possibilities. But I'd almost rule out Charlotte, and I know Greensboro. They're not a WNBA team, are they? Or they're a sub kind of with the Swarm.
So like a sub.
Yeah,
so the
So
Charlotte used to have a
I'd say
WNBA team
with their
Charlotte's
kind of backing and stuff that they already have. I'd almost keep it in Greensboro. It kind of spread it out, across the professional sport. If you're going to say Carolina, hey, you talk about, you mentioned a good one, Matt, Charleston. Charleston would be a good one for an MLB team or something like that too. But
we know Charleston has the River Dogs.
Yeah, yep. I mean, they've got the River Dogs. Charlotte's got the Knights, but the Greensboro Swarm. That's kind of one of the biggest, lower levels of the WNBA that you hear about. So I would almost say keep it there, and that would be a viable option to kind of keep it the Swarm, Hornets. That's kind of why they did it, and kind of colors are similar. So I think that it's a decent idea to maybe keep it there, but like I said, those other four cities are begging for another professional team.
That's right. I mean, Trey Davis just hit the nail on the head here. The WNBA, it wasn't Charlotte. They were called the Charlotte Sting. Dawn Staley did play for them.
You know what? That's not a bad idea, and I like what I like what everybody else is saying though so far. So yeah, absolutely. There's not really a bad answer for this, in my opinion.
No, there's not. I don't think there is. I mean, we're happy to see sports expanding.
Oh yeah, well, the fanfare of the WNBA this past year, I mean, it's put them where they're breaking even almost now with help of the NBA teams, but they're breaking even.
Yeah, I always told, and Matt, I know you need to answer, but I'll just say this: I've always said, and I've said for years, I said they just need to move to smaller towns so that they can, because I mean, you think about like small towns and stuff like that where they have, like high school football games that are as big and sometimes as big as stadiums and stuff like that. And it just doesn't work. The product just doesn't work in major cities when you're competing with the men who can, who've been around for decades. So
you hit the nail on the head right there, and I do like the small town feel as well. Look, Trey just said Greensboro is a good choice too. It's close to Virginia and South Carolina.
Good choice.
We will see what is going to come with that one. Matt, where would you like to see the WNBA expand? Obviously, Philadelphia is mentioned, Miami, Orlando, Tampa Bay. I mean, like there is an abundance of opportunities. It's just A, who is going to help finance it? And then also B, where would you put it?
Exactly, man. I don't know. I think Kansas City would be a nice spot for for a team, man. You got the Chiefs there. You don't really have. I mean, you have the University of Kansas. You have the
Royals on the other side.
I think I think you'll fit in nicely, man, with that group
of
University
of Missouri right there.
Yeah. So they need a professional basketball team. I think the Kansas City would be a great spot for them, man. They have that,
and Kansas is always good basketball. I mean, guys, Kansas is where basketball was invented. So I mean,
yes,
let's put it where it invents, right?
And it makes
logical sense.
Yeah, I mean it does. I mean that or Indiana or even possibly St. Louis.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm eager to see where it goes. All right, so obviously we're watching. I'm watching the AAC Conference Championship. Shane, before you came on, we gave a quick little shout out to our good friend Maddie Hudek, who is the SI beat writer for Tulane University. She actually, I just saw her when they were doing the introductions. It's pretty cool that she's at West Point to watch Tulane and Army. So we're cheering them on. And then we also wanted to, I want to tap when we started too with this one as well. Army just scored, by the way. So we've heard from Hank, we've heard from Matt, we've heard from me about this, but Randy Moss, he's taken an extended leave of absence from ESPN, citing some health concerns related specifically to his eyes. What are your thoughts on this whole thing with Randy Moss?
And I just hope that whatever he's going through. I know last week he put a TikTok out that I watched actually before, the countdown and all. Everybody was, wondering about his eyes last week. I mean, they were very questioning and, all that kind of good stuff, kind of concerns on everybody's, kind of side. But, I'm glad that he's, in a spot where he can actually sit back and say, okay, well, this is going to be best for me in the long run and not what, America wants, because him and Rex Ryan this year have become, one of the only reasons why I watch Sunday NFL Countdown over anybody else on ESPN instead of Fox or CBS, because they've become such a duo that is great. And to have Teddy there to kind of give his knowledge, I mean, looking like the old man with the glasses sitting there on the side now. But, they become a great duo. And, whatever it is, I hope it gets better. I've always known of, coloration like that of the eyes is kind of early signs of liver failure and all.
And we said that too. We absolutely said that.
So I hope that's not necessarily the case. And, but many prayers and all go to the good Lord, the wonderful, only miracle worker that we know, kind of watch over that family and what he's going through. And, hopefully all in all ends well, but, it's troublesome and glad that we're in a time frame and period now where people can actually open up and talk about, difficulties that they're going through in such trying times, instead of being, kind of a stoic male and putting them all on the back burner. And then everybody wonders where you went instead of knowing the actual reasons anymore.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head on that one. Before we go on to our next topic, I did mention you guys, it is holiday season, as you guys see the tree behind me. Are you ready to hear what Dr. Pepper's newest holiday beverage is? And you're going to be blown away when I tell you this. You ready?
What would this be? Yeah, go ahead.
Dr. Pepper, just for the month of December, all the way up until the end of January, they said, is going to have the frosted Dr. Pepper vanilla soda. What do you think? Yes. Okay. So Coke has come. Coke has all these like contraptions with Sprite, the winter Sprite, the winter cranberry Sprite, the now the frosted vanilla Sprite, which is only out for this time of year, and then also you have cranberry, just regular cranberry Sprite. Well, Dr. Pepper said, let me put my foot in the door. So they have created the frosted vanilla Dr. Pepper.
I will try it.
I'm trying it too. By the way, have you guys tasted the Oreo? I think it's Oreo Coke or Oreo Pepsi, one of the two, right?
No.
It's actually not that bad. I mean,
really,
I was pretty impressed by it. I'm not going to go like line up and get like boatloads of it, but I tried it just to try it, and I was pleasantly surprised. Matt, get that smirk off your face and smile at me.
Look, man. No judgment here, buddy. No judgment here.
All right, so let's continue on with our lovely sports talk. Guys, college football, it's here. Matt, let's do. We have our thing every Friday. We talk about the college football scoreboard, but we're going to limit it this time around because I want to talk about some college basketball. I'm itching at it. All right, so guys, right now, Conference USA championships going on. Jacksonville State is waxing the floor with Western Kentucky. It's our favorite score, 28-3.
Oh,
how bad do you think Jacksonville State wins this game?
I mean, are they gonna like put their foot on the brake already, or are they gonna continue to put their foot on their neck? I mean,
I would do that. I think they're gonna do that.
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess at this point in time of the season, man, I know both teams are at 8-4. Yeah. I know they're both.
Yeah, they're both 8-4.
I guess you would want to kind of make a statement, but Jacksonville State seems to have this game sewed up. But then again, we've seen comebacks from 28-3 before, and I'll just leave.
Let's not talk about that score. Let's leave that score alone, Shane. I see you smiling. I see you smiling, Shane. And look, and if you look, Hank is literally sitting there like just, I'm gonna bite my tongue. I'm not gonna say any 28-3 score jokes. But I mean, we folks, this team has seen the 28-3. Look, there's the thank you. Yes, we're having the cricket shirts. All right, so we're not going to dive into the 28-3 score. Boise State, which is I think has got to be the most I think the weakest team, honestly, in the 12 right now. They're playing host. They're not playing host. They're the home team for the Mountain West Conference Championship game. Boise State's only up 7-0. What do you think, Matt? Do you think Boise just, as you call it, mollywops, or what? What do you think?
Well, you say they have the weakest team in the playoff, whatever, but they damn sure don't have the weakest player. I'll tell you that.
No.
Thank you.
Man. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't think Genty have a big game this game. I think Boise State's going to kind of handle UNLV, man. I think they're up 7-0 now already. I don't know. I can see Boise State pulling this out 28-14.
What do you think, Hank? What would you think? Do you think Boise State waxes the floor with UNLV, or do you think UNLV makes it an interesting matchup?
No, I think that UNLV makes it a little bit better matchup just because of the team unity, so to speak. I feel like that Boise State is more focused on that running back of theirs now. And he's just, I always forget his name, but I know he's
Genty.
Yeah, he's my Heisman pick, for the record. I don't think he'll get it, but I think he's my Heisman pick. But I think that they are more focused on the strength of that one player, that I think that the team unity will come together for UNLV, in my opinion. And I think it's going to be skill versus will. And I think that the will of the team unity of UNLV will defeat them, in my opinion.
Ooh, what do you think, Shane?
Well, I'm kind of with Hank on this. It's kind of, Boise State has not scored, outright. It's taken them a little while to get down the field and actually score. I think that I'm not sure about Boise State being the weakest team in the playoff. I still got too many questions about Indiana and what they've done. I'd put them together. And you got to prove something to me in this playoff for me to really think that you're a legit team.
Yeah.
But the UNLV will. It's look they're playing it on defense. I think that there's too many questions around Boise State's ability to win big games by a big margin. That I think it's gonna turn ugly late. But I think it's going to be a better game than what the score ends up being.
Excellent assessment.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's an excellent assessment. Something I didn't even think about.
So I got to let you guys quickly know about this too, and then we'll go to the next game. Coming into tonight, Genty only needs 347 yards to pass Barry Sanders' record. So I think he'll do it. I think Genty gets like 200 yards a game kind of thing. But I think he'll do it. So we'll see. As you guys, I told you, I'm watching the Tulane Army game, All-American Conference Championship game. And unfortunately, a lot of the projections is that doesn't matter. The winner of this championship game doesn't have a lick in the prairie really to go into the 12, which is stupid. But I think Tulane makes it a really interesting game against Army. Look, Army has had an amazing year all season. They're 10-1 for a reason. They still have one more game to play after this, with Navy. I think Tulane makes it very interesting, but I think Army wins I say 24-21. What do you think, Hank?
20. You think 21 to what?
24-21. Army wins.
I'm thinking it's more 30-21. Army wins.
Okay,
I think they're gonna run the floor with them a little bit more. They've got that. I saw them play. What was it, 6 weeks ago? I was very impressed with even their little things like their special teams and stuff like that. The recoveries and all that. And I think they'll beat them by way more than 3 points. I really do.
What do you think, Matt?
Well, we know the offense is focused around Bryson Daly, man, the Army's quarterback. He's their leading rusher and their leading passer,
Yeah.
of course, he's the quarterback. So, but as long as he's on the field, man, I mean, I think Army's not going to have any issue with Tulane. I can see Army winning this one 28-17. But I think Army is going to be in total control of this game from the get-go.
I like that. What do you think, Shane? What do you think? Do you think Tulane has a hope and a prayer, or do you think it's Army all the way?
Well, I think Tulane has a hope and a prayer. Obviously, they haven't started it the way that you need to, especially against a triple option team. Kind of on the same lines with Matt, because it's going to be lower scoring. I'd almost go like 24-14 just because of the time of possession and everything. I mean, New York, cold this time of year. If Army can get some drives going, which we've seen already, kind of getting some drives going, they can wear down the team and kind of keep it at a good distance for them with being able to control the time of possession the way they do with that triple option.
What do you think, Matt?
Well, first I want to look at. I guess we got a comment here.
Yes.
Comment from Trey is GT stats padded because of the conference. I won't say that, man. I won't say his stats are padded because of the conference, man. I mean, if you go back and look at what he's done this year, man, against some good solid defenses. I mean, but he's run on everybody. Number 7, Oregon.
What? Oregon
was number 7 at the time, I believe. Oregon was. He had 192 yards on Oregon. So
I think there's only 3 games that he didn't, get over, 150 yards this year.
Well, he's got.
There were several games he didn't play.
That.
There were some games he didn't finish the entire game because they were beating him up so bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's 4 games he didn't even play halfway through the third quarter. I know.
Yeah.
Which is understandable at the running back position too. It's happening way more nowadays.
Exactly.
These guys that you need your players to be healthy for the next game. If he produced what he produced and there's no more he needs to do, then you're good.
Yeah, you just hit the nail on the head on that one.
It
absolutely is true. And Trey, I've watched Mountain West, as you know, Hawaii. I've watched constantly with them, and Mountain West is not a bad conference. There were some really unfortunate bad teams this year in the Mountain West. If I had to put it on a scale of like 1 to 5, I'd say about a 3.5 as a possibility as a weaker conference. Yes, Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, and also one thing, Trey, when you look at Genty's runs, just go back and look at the highlights of his runs. On most of his runs, he's stopped in the backfield, like he's hit in the backfield, and he breaks through the tackles and goes on his merry way for 60 yards, 70 yards. He's not running through clean and untouched. He's touched and he's tackled, he's wrapped up, and he's just shedding these tackles, man, and just God, he's just so shifty and powerful at the same time. It's like a gazelle running through a pasture. Let me put it like that. It's like a gazelle running through a pasture on a nice October day, man. With the wind just blowing. He hits the contact and then he just hits his stride and he goes. So that's what's special about him, and that's why he's going to be a top 10 pick in this next draft.
And Trey, if you haven't had the privilege of seeing the shorts that Matt created, our good friend Craig Stutzman, the offensive coordinator at San Jose State University, Matt asked, "What is one piece of advice you would give to stop Ashton Genty?" And what did he say?
13 players on the field.
That's right. Put 13 players on the field. That's right. So Genty is a one of a kind. Go ahead, Shane.
Genty had one game, like 230 something yards rushing, and 190 of it was after contact.
Yeah,
the only more impressive stat was Laura Sellers last week against Clemson, had 170 yards rushing and had 176 yards after contact.
Yeah, that alone in itself, that's a crazy stat. Yeah, Lenore quarterback. And so, all right, then we'll do a couple more games, and then we will go on to some college basketball talk. The SEC championship game. Texas is listed as the home team against Georgia. Texas is favored by 2.5. I think we're seeing Arch play for the rest of the year. I think Arch is going to do his thing, and this is where I'm kind of I'm coin tossed. If now people are saying this too, that if Texas wins, Georgia should still get into the 12. I think Texas wins. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, and Shane, you said this, that every single down that Arch has played, he's played like a Heisman type player, and so I think Texas wins like 31-17. What do you think, Shane?
Well, I think that's going to be the wrinkle in Georgia's game plan, especially coming the first half, just because of the limited kind of time that we've seen Arch be out there. We know his skill set and, the aura around him being, the Manning, third generation Manning there on the field. But, that's something that you don't see a lot of on film, so you can't prepare for the throws that he could make or the offensive changes that they make with him in there, being especially extremely more mobile and athletic than Ewers, although he was not a slouch in the first bit. You see that, and that all gets corrected at halftime. I mean, we've seen umpteen million Kirby Smart deals, especially, watching South Carolina play them early in the year before this year, whenever, conference sides didn't make any kind of difference. South Carolina and Georgia both being on the East, they played each other every year. They made it an early game. You saw South Carolina stick with them last year up until halftime, and then they just pulled away. I could see the same type of game, but I see a more competitive game than the first one that we saw.
I like it. All right, so Hank, let's go with you. What do you think? Do you think Texas does the thing and like beats Georgia, or do you think Georgia wins?
I think it depends on who's quarterbacking for the Texans. I think the Arch is not quite there yet. And I think that Georgia's offense will just be a little bit more edgy during that game, a little bit more experienced. They've all been together a little longer. The leadership is Georgia. For the record, even though I'm University of Memphis, my favorite team outside the University of Memphis is Texas. So I have a very unbiased opinion about this, but I think Georgia has the edge in this game.
Matt, we watched Georgia Tech go to like 25,000 overtimes. I think Kirby Smart just called his last time out for this overtime. But what do you think? I think Arch Manning in Texas, they get it done and they beat Texas. I mean, they beat Georgia, or does Georgia just win?
Man, I guess it seems like everybody forgot, man, how Georgia manhandled Texas the first game, or how Georgia little brother Texas or big brother Texas the last game. People forget, man, at the end of the first half, man, Georgia was in complete control of that, man. They had to take Quinn Ewers out of the game because he was doing so terrible, and they put Arch Manning in. Look, man, Georgia, I think end of the first half was 23-0, and Georgia kind of fell back, and then Texas scored in the third quarter 15 straight points. Then Georgia put the dogs back in and shut them down in the fourth quarter. I don't think Texas has a chance. I think Georgia's going to come out, do what they do. Georgia's defense is just too much for that all Texas offense, man. I mean, they say it's every year, like some teams just have your number. Like Alabama just has Georgia's number, no matter what. It just seems to be that way. But like Georgia just has Texas's number, man. I just don't see Texas doing anything against that Georgia Bulldog defense, man. I mean, it's gonna be tough for them, man. But I see Georgia just kind of mollywhopping Texas again, and having their way with them. So.
Look, our good friend Trey Davis, Beck has been on the downward trend. Yes, Carson Beck has really gone downward, although Georgia Tech may say otherwise.
Yeah, been like a downward trend against Georgia Tech.
So let's go to the last game that we're going to mention, and then we'll go to some college basketball talk. Look, guys, it's the debate as old as the college football playoff. Clemson They backdoored into the ACC championship thanks to Syracuse pulling up the upset and beating Miami. Clemson is playing a workhorse in SMU. I think SMU, I'm going to use Matt's term, mollywops Clemson. I really do. I wouldn't be surprised if SMU comes out red hot and wins like 41-17. That's how bad. Because Clemson has not been consistent. Matt, what have I said all year about Carolina? I said they're the most consistently inconsistent team. And they changed. Carolina became very consistent. They finished the year very consistent. And Clemson, they started out slow, and then they got consistent, and then they became inconsistent again. So, yeah, that's why I'm saying SMU. I think they're gonna handle their business against Clemson, and the debate will be settled. Now, if Clemson were to come out and do like what they did against App State, and they were so red hot that you couldn't control anything about it, and they really come at all forces against SMU and they win, then it comes to the question. And so I'm going to start with on you on this, Matt. Who do you think wins? And if then I want you to ask you a second question on this one. If Clemson wins, do you think Clemson should still get into 12?
Right now, Clemson is ranked where? They're number what? They're ranked 20.
They are number 17.
17. I don't see them getting in. I don't see them getting 12. Even if they
the
won,
winner of the ACC does get in there regardless, is what they said.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then yes, Clemson will get in because I don't see them SMU beating them. When you got, I think K Klubnik, Phil Maffa, you have the slew of receivers and their defense. I think they're going to come out and they're going to kind of establish themselves against SMU. Usually you have your good Clemson, inconsistent Clemson, yeah, but I just think I don't think SMU has the horses to kind of shut Clemson down. I just don't think they.
Or the pun, or is that pun included?
Oh no pun, no pun.
I didn't even catch it. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God! Yeah, he's like
right
the horses.
I
didn't do. I was like, oh, I got it.
I like my entendres. But yeah, man. I just don't see it. I think K Klubnik is gonna have a good game. But I think they're gonna run their offense like they should have through Phil Maffa and establish a run game. So I don't know. I got Clemson winning this one, man. I'll say like 34-17. I think Clemson is gonna have the way from the start.
What do you think, Hank?
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not as invested in this game as much as I thought because I didn't get to catch as much Clemson games this year, so I'm going to pass on this one.
Yeah, count your blessings.
What do you think, Shane?
Well, I'm kind of along the same lines as Matt. The biggest question now becomes, do you keep SMU in when they lose to Clemson?
That's a very real question.
The biggest question. I think it's going to be sad enough to see, even after the CFP came out and explained that this weekend is not going to matter. I think that Clemson might come out and just go ahead and put it on SMU, and if you see that, and then you see what South Carolina did to them at home. Do you not think about that more so than putting Alabama ahead of Carolina at that point, and even Ole Miss at that point? The CFP, Clemson, I think Clemson's a lot better team than what they've grown up to be this year. First, I mean, I saw it when they came into Blacksburg. They used Maffa the way Matt loves them. That they need to use Moffitt. They ran it straight down our throat for the whole game. So I mean, I see that this could be a big upset. Well, not a big upset in my opinion, but a big lopsided score that you don't really expect with it being these two teams, and Clemson being the winner. But as I've said before, it could change. College football, pro football this year is completely unpredictable, and I've been a fan just watching it, and I enjoy it. But I know true diehard fans of these teams are sitting there probably they have no nails left at this point going into tomorrow.
You hit the nail on the head on that one. Absolutely hit the nail on the head on that one. We're gonna obviously we're always gonna have that ways to fix the committee, but there's no really true way to fix it. Real quickly, want to let you know, Dylan, I think his name is Dylan Raiola from Nebraska. He is transferring.
Wow.
Leaving. He was touted at the as the Patrick Mahomes 2.0. Matt Rule must not have been doing something right. All right, Matt, we're going to talk about 2 scores for the game for the NCAA men's basketball, and then we're gonna call it a night, everybody. So real quick, Clemson is playing host to Miami. Clemson is 8-1. They just upset Kentucky. Reason why we're mentioning this is because they did upset Kentucky at Clemson. So really good opportunities there for ACC SEC matchup. Clemson is playing Miami. Matt, what do you think?
Ooh, yeah, Clemson has been showing, man, that they're at the top of the class, man, as far as the ACC goes, man. So I don't know, man. I can see Clemson hanging on to win this one, man. And I think Clemson's actually going to be kind of a force to reckon with, man, this season.
Well, it's starting to turn out that way. Absolutely. They took down Kentucky at home, and that's a feat in itself. That they're showing signs that they're going to be better. So we'll see. Then everybody's it's one of our favorites. We're actually going to have Bob Ritchie come on with Furman. We're setting up a date now. Jordan Caskey is going to get back to me on Monday. They're currently playing this weekend at the Bon Sequoia Well. They're hosting Princeton. Furman is 8-1. Real quick, on all three, I'm going to ask all three of you guys. Furman, they just come back beating Florida Gulf Coast. They did lose to Kansas at Kansas, but Kansas is the number 1 team. They're playing Princeton. Matt, who do you think wins?
Oh, that's gonna be a good one, man. I think Furman's gonna pull it out, man. They show that they've been a nice, good, cohesive unit this season, man. So even though I love my nerds up there in Princeton, man, but hey, Furman's going to take this one.
Hank, what do you think? Do you think Furman can upset Princeton, or do you think Princeton wins?
I have to go with Matt on this one. I think Furman has got a little bit more of a cohesive unit in this case. Most of their new players have come in around the same time, so there's a certain bond and unity that I see them they could pull it off. Now that's my heart talking. That's not my wallet talking.
Absolutely. All right, Shane, what do you think? Do you think Furman beats Princeton, or do you think Princeton beats Furman?
I think Princeton pulls this one out. As much as you want to pull for Furman in their case, Princeton perennially has been in the top of the Ivy League here in the last few years, getting into the NCAA. They've had some turmoil here early in the season. Of course, they've played a tougher schedule than they ever have in the season. To start off the year. So I think that, this kind of stubs them in going into conference play. And I think this is one of those games where they say, okay, well, this is a team that could play in our conference. And so, we need to show up and do right. So I think that in the end puts Princeton over the edge. But I believe Furman makes it competitive and, kind of solidifies their self up top as far as one of the SoCon's best teams.
I like it, guys. Real quick, want to let you know what's going to happen. Remember, season 2 is knocking on the door, coming to a close. The final week of December, Matt and I will not be on for Christmas and New Year's. And then season 3 will kick off. We will have a new intro video, a new outro video. We'll even have bigger guests come on. We may have a third member on our team. We're working on some new merchandise, so stay tuned for that. Wanted to let you guys know Tuesday next week, we're still working. I think that's the time we're trying to get Bob to come on for Tuesday. It's only going to be for a brief period because, Bob is very busy with Furman, so we're close to having Bob Ritchie come on. We also will have Maddie Hudick, who is, again, the beat writer for Tulane. She'll be coming on in the next couple weeks, maybe a month or so. We are getting somebody from the Columbus River Dragons, the minor league hockey team, is coming on. Matt, you'll appreciate when I tell you this. I have talked to the Stinger, Mike Stinger Glenn from the Atlanta Hawks, and he will come on sometime early January, is what he said. So that he is going to come on our show. So as you guys see, we're building, we're growing. We've had a lot of great response for season 2. Great response in general. We had a lot of fun with this, guys. This has been an amazing episode. It was a slow viewership night at only 37 max out. It's okay though. We will have the views come later on, and make sure everybody who's watching, go back and share the video with your friends, because we have a lot of good content. Look, there's 4 beautiful faces here. Well, 3 if you don't include Matt's.
You're pointing in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Wait, here we go. Wait. Here we go.
No.
You know what? I'm gonna throw my flag on myself. I just threw the flag on myself. So, you know, guys, this has been actually a lot of fun. Hank, we're having you on again, man. I had a blast with you, man. I really did.
Thank you, and it's been a pleasure meeting all 3 of you. Shane, I'm sorry we didn't get to talk a little bit before the show started, man. But man, I like you a lot, man. You're great.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, stick around. We normally have a couple minutes after the show to kind of get in there with everybody and kind of catch up. So, you know,
sure.
It will be just the 3 of us. Matt has a work call.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, Matt's a busy man. You know, that's why he makes all the money.
Man.
Oh yeah, he makes all the money.
Get him off you. Get him off you, Matt.
Hey, man.
Matt does this.
Man, you know, hey. Oh, hey. Hopefully, you know. Hey, beginning of next year, I can kind of tone it down a little bit, man, and kind of be more, you know, here and there, you know. Boom.
No, hey, man. Family comes first. Work comes first.
Yeah.
But Matt works 2 jobs. And
you see these coming? You gotta.
You know what? Look, I got more gray than you. And
Hey,
look,
it's better.
Shane's so stressed. He ain't got no hair.
It's better than this. It's better than this.
Hey, man. Look, I gotta say to both of you gentlemen, grow beard. If you're balding, grow beards. Okay,
yes.
you look more like a star. I'm telling you.
No, see, you don't know, Hank. Shane had one of those.
Shane used to have the Duck
beards.
Dynasty beard.
You'll see the side of the Mississippi. Man.
I looked at his Facebook profile while we were talking. Dude, all you gotta do is tighten it up a little bit, man. You're good, partner.
Oh well, I'm trying the handlebars now.
He's gonna tweak it out and be like,
yeah, no, it's cool. Hey, man, no, it's cool, man. Hey, look, you want to look like Triple H? That's all right by me. I mean, you know, hey.
Oh my gosh. Oh my Brandon. LeBron's hitting 1 foot 3-point jumpers, man. Oh my gosh.
his what?
LeBron's hitting 1 foot 3-point jumpers, man. Oh my gosh. If he's going to about to pull up. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Don't you start saying anything about Bronny, because I don't want to hear no
LeBron is taking over
stuff.
LeBron is taking over, man.
See, I'm jealous because y'all are watching sports and I'm having to pay attention to you guys. So.
Oh man, you can multitask, man. You can multitask.
So guys, this has been a fun episode. We absolutely have had a blast. Hank is definitely coming on more. And look, guys, wait, let's see. Here we go. Nope. Jesus Christ. You know what, Brandon?
I will say, hold on, Brandon, before you go, I will say, Hank, I've been able to check out some of your content too, man. You know, hey, I appreciate what you're doing, man, and I appreciate your topics and things like that, man. So,
of course,
hey, man, anytime, man. Whenever you want to have us on, have me on, have Brandon on, whatever, man.
Oh,
to come discuss any topic.
We actually are going to be on.
Actually, I have an interesting thing that Hank knows wrestling. He's officially cool. Thank you, Trey. I appreciate it. Dude, let me tell you something about me. I was on the radio for Trey. I know we're trying to get off here. I'll just tell you, Trey, I was on the radio for years, and part of being on the radio for years is that you have to be have a little bit more like I did 30% sports and 70% was everything else. So you get what I'm saying. Things have to even out. So I know a lot of things, but
I know 20% about everything. That I know something.
Oh, and Matt, you talk about having you on the show. I'm gonna talk to you about what I got going on afterwards, and after this, and I'll tell you. And very interesting. And
yes. It's going to be good because we're going to do something that, we're going to definitely have a lot of fun doing. All right, guys. For our good friend, Mr. Hank. Hank, what do you tell the lovely people before you say goodbye?
Well, I'll tell you this. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are fantastic. My show is called The Hank Russell Invitation, strictly on YouTube right now. I will do a little bit on TikTok eventually. I just got approved to be, but you'll see most of my stuff is on YouTube, and you can see me on Instagram, my shorts and stuff like that, which I'm going to talk to Matt about that eventually here as well. But so appreciate y'all. Y'all have been great. And every time they have me on here, I will thank the audience afterwards.
Right on. Mr. Shane Owen, what do you say to the lovely people?
Hey, man, as always, it's been a pleasure. And, hey, peace, love, and bacon grease.
Peace, love, and bacon grease, indeed. Matt, what do you tell the lovely people not to get done again?
Oh yeah, man. Guys, weekend's coming up. A lot of football conference championships. A lot of football being played. Basketball. You're gonna go out there. You're gonna partake in the adult beverages. If you do that, just make sure you call Uber driver or you have a DD with you, guys. You don't want to get flagged. You get flagged, you get fined.
If you need an Uber certificate, this gentleman right here has them.
Yeah, I'll pass
guys. You know what I always say. Peace up. A-Town down and why? Because it's literally the greatest sports city in town. You know what, Falcons? I'm not freaking playing. You better beat the damn Vikings. We're not doing this 4-game losing crap stuff. Guys, it's going to be cold this weekend. Go have fun with your family. Be responsible. Drink some adult libations, but don't drink them like crazy. And if you need some food, go talk to Shane. Shane will be happy to cook you some of his amazing food. Until Tuesday, guys.
Either or.
That's right. Guys, until next Tuesday when we see you again, have a great weekend. Have fun. Be safe. And we love you. And thank you so much. And we'll see you then. Until then, bye. Go home. Get out of here. You ain't got to go home. You got to get the heck up out of here. Leave. See ya. Well, he just did. He just scored 8 points. That's big. He had a career. Yep.